All righty, you are looking live. It's sold out. MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. And why are the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or if anybody spends any time watching a replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free to fire away, throw it in the chat box. I usually check on chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if I see something in there, I try to respond to it as soon as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, I mean, instead of me just like rambling off like 30 minutes or more, all by myself, it's nice to talk to a Giant fan every now and then. You know what I mean? So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below is a top link. It takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. First one's called the Saquon. Second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel, I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. Once again, thank you. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links, okay? The first one, the top one, takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron, okay? It's a group. Basically, I say this in all my videos. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Facebook page, it's all like called the same thing. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. All right. Now, why I said, like a moron like me, I can remember what they're called. I don't. What's the group's called? What was the group? What's the channel? Is the channel called? What's the page? It's all called the same thing. It's nice and easy, right? So I said I can remember. What do we got? We have over 3,100 members in the group. Okay, I put stuff in. It's basically once I get done with this video here, all right, going live, I'm going to spend probably like the next 2 hours or so just putting stuff in the page and in the group. Okay, and it's 7 days a week. There's always stuff going in there. And if you become a member, okay, not only do I put stuff in here too, but the members put stuff in here as well. As I said, I mean, I try to get, if I can, like at least 10 different things in here every day. Now, what do I got here? I saw this was pretty cool. It was I don't know, I can't remember who he signed. Read who he signed. Matthew, maybe signed. Was an autographed picture of Harry Carson. He signed it to, looks like maybe Matthew, somebody, but it's an autographed picture of Harry Carson. All right, it just looked pretty cool, so I just put it in the group there, right? There's a picture of the rookies, right? I got a picture. I think Javarius Owens there. There's a picture of I got Brian Dable, and I don't know here. You know how the rumors go. It's freaking crazy. I think it said, could this Bucs Hall of Fame receiver find a new home in New York? I think they may be talking about Evans. I think maybe possibly. I didn't read the article, but I mean, I don't know why we're trying to. I mean, you hear all kinds of things, all kinds of rumors, and this, that, and the other thing. But I mean, we could use maybe a number 1 wide receiver. Yeah. But I mean, my God, I mean, who are we gonna, who are we gonna get rid of? You know what I mean? Then there's something, a post here making fun of the Eagles, another post making fun of the Eagles. That's my favorite, making fun of the Eagles. All kinds of stuff. The video here, Daniel Jones throwing a pass to Darren Waller, catching the ball with both hands, getting both feet in bounds before it runs out of bounds. There's a ton of stuff going in here every day. The second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my Facebook. It's a page, okay. Once again, New York Giants Gridiron, but it's a page. Let's see, what do we got in here? Let me see. There's over 1,100 people who like it. There's over 4,600 people who are following it. Okay, but it's a page. I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one to post in here. Okay, but It's same thing. 7 days a week. I'm always putting stuff in here. It basically, whatever. If I get 10, 11 things in the page, try to get 10 or 11 things in the group, whether, as I said, once again, whether it's a video, a post, a picture, something, right? I try to, get as much stuff in the page as I do in the group, and I don't commingle for the most part. Meaning, whatever I put in a page, I don't put the same exact video or whatever in the group for the most part. Every now and then, maybe I'll find something that really makes fun of the Eagles, and it's just too good to keep to myself, so I just want to share it with everybody. So I might mix it. I might put it in the page and the group, okay? But for the most part, it's I keep them stuff separate. So if you go to the page, you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, you get a ton of New York Giants stuff every day, 7 days a week, okay? And as I say in every video, if you're not happy, you get your money back guaranteed, all right? Well, all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, well, I'll tell you, as I said, I think I said in the video last night, it's like Christmas around here, right? Like with the free agency, right? Then you got the build up to the draft, and the draft is here. Then right after the couple weeks after the draft is over, basically, because it would be 2 weeks after the draft was over, because you got Thursday night, the schedule's coming out 8:30. That's when the draft started. We've been 2 weeks before, right? So it's like Christmas. It's unbelievable. Absolutely love it, right? And then like with them, then they got little OTAs and stuff like that. But then so you figure, let's say, what do you figure? So when the schedule comes out, you figure about 2 months later, that's when training camp starts, right? Guys, then we're off. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, right? But you gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. But the Giants. It's not going to be easy. Now, this is the thing: is they could actually be a better team, which is looking, we're certainly in that direction. Certainly heading in that direction. Are we a complete team? No. Do we have some holes maybe here and there? Yeah. Are we going to have some holes probably after the season? Quite possibly. We're going to have, obviously, you're always going to have holes. You're always going to have questions and this, that, and the other thing, everything. But I think we're certainly becoming better of a complete team. But the thing is that, we can be a better team, but may not get a better record. Last year we won so many close games, right? You got to just go to a couple of them. The one we beat the Commanders, when the second time we beat them. If not for Kayvon's, the quattro there, all four, right? The sack, the strip, the recovery, the fumble. The touchdown. He had like everything, right? That was like basically almost the extent of, not the extent of the scoring, but that was a lot of scoring right there. If it wasn't for that one defensive play, right? Nobody blocked them on that play. Nobody blocked them, right? Imagine if they actually, called the right protection or whatever. Hey, I got this dude Kayvon over there. I want to keep an eye on him. He just ran in, right? So if somebody blocked them, that play's not happening, right? So, then the Commanders get the ball at the end of the game. They're not throwing the ball into the end zone because they need a touchdown. Well, if they only need a field goal, they might win the football game, right? Just one other one I'll just go over is that you got the one with the Jaguars, right? They're driving. They completed a pass. They're 1 yard from the line, about 1 yard from the end zone, right? Kept them out. Say there's another 30 seconds on the clock. Do you think we're going to keep him out of the end zone? I don't know, right? We won a lot of close games. Tough to keep duplicating that, right? But as I said, we also had a relatively kind of a softer kind of schedule, right? We had the AFC South, which was it's not a juggernaut, okay? We beat Tennessee, okay? Thankfully, we played them a little earlier in the season because as the season went on, they were like one of the worst. I think they were the they were the most injured team in football. Okay. But I'm saying Jacksonville did very well. Okay, especially in the playoffs. Very impressed. Very, very impressed when they got to. And that was a good playoff game when they lost to the Chiefs. But I mean, they were like the least injured team in football. But I mean, the South is not a juggernaut. You know what I mean? So we had a little soft schedule there. Okay, which helped their 9-7-1 record, right? And I said we won a lot of one-score games too. This year, let's see. I can't wait for it to come out. You hear all this stuff, the Black Friday game with the Giants and the Eagles, possibly Monday night opener, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood and the Giants. That would be the Rumble in the Jungle, the battle for New York City, week 1. Bring it on, biatches. Oh, yeah. So you hear all this stuff, but if you wind up looking, strength of schedule. Now, the Eagles have the toughest, okay? Who the heck are they playing? Let me see. They got to play Minnesota, because we're playing the same exact – everybody's playing. There's 3 games that different that they're playing, okay? Let me pop that up here. I hate wasting time. See, we're playing the Raiders. Okay. Who the hell are they playing? Who on earth are they playing? Oh, okay. They got to play the Chiefs. We're playing the Raiders. They're playing the Chiefs. Okay. They're playing the Vikings. We're playing the Packers. So we might have lucked out there because Mr. Rogers' neighborhood's not there anymore, right? So now they have J Love with special sauce as their quarterback. So, so we got the advantage there. We're playing the Raiders, so we got the advantage right there. So, they got, a couple tough ones. Then, I don't know about the other ones. See, the other one is that we're playing the Saints. And, of course, they got to play the Bucs, who won the division, but the GOATs, the offensive GOAT, I'll say, is not there anymore. So, I don't know. I don't know. Would you rather play the Bucs without Tom Brady, or would you rather play the Saints? I don't know. Saints supposed to be pretty good this year. So anyway, but regardless, the Eagles have the toughest schedule, strength of schedule, shall we say? Okay, but the Giants are tied for 3rd. Okay, so basically, the way it is, okay, with the schedule, strength of schedule. Okay, you got the NFC East, AFC East. Those 4 teams, they pretty much take up the top 8. It looks like here. Yeah. The Eagles, the Dolphins, the Giants, the Patriots, the Cowboys, the Jets, the Bills, and the Commanders. Top 8. NFC East, AFC East. Okay. Toughest strength of schedule. Then after that, you look. The Giants are playing. They got the Giants are playing the Rams, right? They're playing the Cardinals and they're playing the Raiders. All right. Then they got to play the Seahawks too. So the Giants are playing all these teams. The only other team in there, okay, who the Giants are not playing would be the Broncos. But other than that, you got the Eagles, the Dolphins. These are the toughest teams, the hardest strengths of schedule. Okay, the Giants are playing. These are the top bunch here: Eagles, Dolphins, Giants, Patriots, Cowboys, Jets, Bills, Commanders, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Broncos, Seahawks. Out of those, the only 2 teams the Giants aren't playing is obviously the Giants, not playing themselves, and the Broncos. But other than that, then we got to play the 49ers. So it's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. This is certainly without question. The Giants can actually have a better team and go 9-8. I hope not. They could go 10-7, right? They could go 8-9. If once again the injury bug bites them, I said, they could be 7-10, they could be 8-9. So they could have a better team, but with the harder schedule, right? If a bounce here, let's be honest with this. The Giants, the game is against the Commanders, right? That penalty that didn't get called in the end zone. We locked out there. That was a penalty, right? The Giants, had some things go their way, right? a couple of things didn't go their way, obviously, but one of the things was the injuries. Let's hopefully that takes care of itself this year. Hopefully we have a better year with the injury bug. But you look, I mean, we got to play the Cowboys. When was the last time we beat the Cowboys 2 times in a season, right? Got to play the Eagles, right? Right? We got to play the Commanders. Don't sleep on the Commanders, okay? Don't sleep on them, all right? Then we got to play the Packers, okay, at home without Aaron Rodgers, so we might have a leg up there. We're playing the Jets, and the thing was, and that's the thing is that you kind of hope because we got 9 away games, 8 home games. You were kind of hoping the Jet game would be an away game because basically it's a wash. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, the Jet game is a home game, right? So then we got to play the Patriots at home. Okay, that's a winnable game. We got to play the Rams at home. That's a winnable game. Okay, the Seahawks. That's going to be tough. I mean, they're going to, they got Lockett and Metcalf. It's taking Jigba, and so they're going to have some tough wide receivers to cover. Okay, but then on the road, I mean, the Cowboys, right? Once again, we got the Commanders, and we have the Eagles, right? Going to be tough. Every one of those games is going to be tough. Don't sleep on the Commanders. Do not sleep on the Commanders. Period. Okay. Then we have the Saints. That's not going to be easy. Saints will be tough. The Raiders. Okay, winnable. Cardinals. Okay, winnable, right? Then we got this trifecta right here, right? We got the 49ers. Would have been nice to see if the 49ers actually had a quarterback in the championship game, what might have happened. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the 49ers, right? Going to be a tough game. We got to play the Bills. Tough game. I mean, that's going to be, right? I mean, everybody, of course, they're going to be, everybody and their grandmom's going to be asking Dable and Shane. So the Bill game got a little extra something in for you this week because it's the Bills. Dable, nah, guys, it's a game, man. It's just you can't think like that. And I mean, that's what's going to happen. But deep inside, oh yeah. I mean, it was the same thing with Wink when we wound up beating the Ravens last year. Oh yeah, deep inside. Oh yeah, he wanted that one, so he was happy. I was very, very happy for him. But I mean, and then you got the Dolphins. Not that the Dolphins, are like just a phenomenal team, but okay, they got some, right? I mean, we got to keep Waddle and Hill. If they're healthy and all that, and everything, it's gonna be a tough offense. So I mean, tough schedule. Tough schedule. I said, so are we a better team? I really think so. Absolutely. Especially if we get the guys back from last year. And if we can actually somehow make it out of preseason relatively healthy without losing like a few guys, oh yeah. But I mean, as I said, we can have a better squad, but with this harder schedule, it ain't going to be easy. We can actually be about the same as last year. Maybe 10-7, 9-8. Hey man, if we go 12-5, man, I'm doing a happy dance, but right. So it's going to be fun. But Thursday night, schedule coming out. Looking forward to it. Then I saw this article. It was about some guys. Okay, 4 guys that had their 5th-year options declined. Okay, by the club. All right. Now, I mean, so you got to remember too. Okay, it's not 100% the kiss of death per se. Okay. Because who else had their 5th-year option declined and inked himself a nice long contract? Daniel Jones. So, he went out and proved it. Okay. So, I mean, these guys I'm going over, there actually was a nice list of guys that I saw in this article. But I mean, probably for the most part, they will not be on the respective teams after the season's over. Right, for the most part, but it doesn't mean that if these players I'm going to go over start balling out, well, maybe they might get a contract from their team. So we'll have to wait and see. But there was and they bring this up in the article, okay? And obviously not to get the guys right now, but what they talk about in this article is like toward the middle of the season, whatever, if these teams start falling out of playoff competition or whatever, is that maybe if the Giants, can work a trade or something like that, maybe you trade a third rounder or something, whatever, to a team, and maybe they've kind of fallen out of the playoff race, but which also brings me back to the fact that, you want to have a little bit of cap money stashed off to the side. You don't want to go into the season, right, with just $3 million. Reasons like this to maybe make a trade. Okay, you got to bring the guys in. Right? You want to have a little bit of money saved up, right? Especially, I got my fifth guy that I'm gonna bring up. Okay, and he's still all on the rookie deal, but the guy I'm bringing up, all right, he's gonna be a little expensive. Okay, the guy I'm bringing up is not in this article. Okay, but he's a little expensive for a reason. Okay, so but let me go over this article here. Let me see. I got to give him credit. G-Men HQ, fan-sided. Ford declined fifth-year trade targets for the Giants, including Isaiah Simmons. Now, Isaiah Simmons, I'll tell you what. I'd seen him mocked to the Giants quite a few times in this draft, and even Louis Riddick. He was asked, I think, the night of the draft. They're like, "Who do you think the Giants?" And and Lewis is like straight up, right on. Isaiah Simmons. He's a plug and play player. You can put him anywhere. And if you look, I mean, he's played in a lot of different spots. Okay. Let's see here. So we got Isaiah Simmons. Oh wait, hold on. I got to go backwards. He's the let me say, I want to. Okay, this might be it here. Okay, here. Recently, many teams had to make several decisions on players for their fifth-year options. Several players like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert were extremely easy decisions to make. And obviously, like Andrew Thomas was, okay, picking up his fifth-year option for $14 million. I mean, what a bargain. However, there were several players who weren't so fortunate, and they had their fifth-year option decline. There's a long list, and it's football fans taking quite a bit, So, I mean, there's 14 players officially had their fifth-year options declined, okay? In this article, it says the irony from this is the Washington Commanders were deemed the team to win the Chase Young sweepstakes when they landed the number over 2 overall pick and went with the star pass rusher, a player that was, at the time, many Giant fans were hoping for, okay? And instead, the Giants got number 4 with Andrew Thomas. Fast forward to 3 years later, and Andrew Thomas is the one getting a fifth-year option, and Young is one potentially on his way out of why. Now, I mean, honest to God, I mean, I don't know what the Commanders would even do. I mean, if you got Jonathan, I mean, you're going to sign, you got Jonathan Allen making $18 million a season. I mean, even if they were to pick up his option and maybe try to sign him to a long, I mean, Darren Payne just inked a $22.5 million, contract. Then you got, if you're going to have Chase Young, I mean, you're going to maybe try to ink him to maybe a long time. I mean, my God, how much are you going to pay your defensive front? Whew, wow. But let's see. Now, it's also brought this up here. Right? A year ago, the fifth-year option was declined by the Giants. Some wondered about the future of Daniel Jones, but they responded with a season that helped guide the Giants to their first postseason berths in 2016. Danny Dimes earned a 4-year, $160 million contract. Well, all of that said, some of the players who are listed here might not be in their team's future plans. And if certain teams fall out of playoff races, a couple of these teams, I can't see them falling out of playoff races, which would, unless they're attacked immensely by injuries, especially this first team, which they were last year. Okay. But the teams that, if they fall out of playoff races, some of these players could become potential trade chips for the team like the Giants, right? So if you have a little bit of cap money saved up, not a ton, but a little bit of cap money saved up, okay, you make a trade, right? Now, the first one would be, and, I could see maybe Wink wanting this, but I don't see these guys, unless they get totally annihilated once again by injuries. I don't see the Ravens falling out of playoff contention, especially if Lamar, if he can stay healthy. Problem is with running quarterbacks, which I don't like running quarterbacks that much, is because, you take a pounding. Now it's all cute and fine and fancy when you're the first year or two in the league and you're running and this and that and you're gaining all these yards and all. But as the years start piling up, the hits start piling up, right? You start getting a little more and more injured. And if you can't stand in the pocket, if you have to run to be successful, that's not my favorite. But anyway, the Ravens with Patrick Queen might have a little Wink Martindale, right? Interest in this one. The one stands out a lot because of the previous connection with Patrick Queen and defensive Wink Martindale. Martindale was the former Ravens defensive coordinator for Queen in his first 2 seasons before he headed to the Giants. Queen knows the defensive system that Martindale runs and had success in it during his first 2 seasons of his career. Given the fact that the Giants have a question mark at the other middle linebacker spot next to Bobby Okereke, Queen is a very intriguing option if the Ravens were to consider moving him after drafting Trenton Simpson, right? And adding Roquan Smith last season, okay? In his first 3 seasons with the Ravens, Queen was a solid player, as he had 106, 98, and 117 tackles in each season with 10 total sacks. A career high was in 2022 with 5. Queen also had 2 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries for the Ravens in 2022. At the moment, Jarrad Davis is penciled in as the other starter next to Okereke in Martindale's 3-4 defense. Before Davis, it was Jalen Smith, who seemed to fall out of favor at the end of the year. A reunion between Queen and Martindale in East Rutherford is high-pressured pack defense could be something to look for in the 4th year, right? If the 4th-year veteran is unhappy in Baltimore at all, something to think about. Yeah, Patrick Queen, we got here. Patrick Queen. Now, this was last year, okay? He lined up on the defensive line. He lined up in the box. He lined up at slot corner. He lined up at wide corner 7 times. He lined up at free safety 9 times. He was a slot cornerback 54 times last year. Okay, that's last year. Okay. Let's see here. Patrick Queen. Let's go to 2021. Let's go when it was with the Wink. Okay, Wink didn't have him as a safety, but he had him at wide corner, in the slot, the box, and the defensive line. Okay, so he had, as I said, last season he had 117 tackles. 2021 at 98, and he hasn't missed a game. He's played in and started every game. There's no injury concerns as of yet. Okay, so if they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, might be something to think about. Okay, he's got fumble recoveries, passes defense, forced fumbles. He has 3 interceptions, a lot of tackles. He's relatively healthy. He knows Wink Martindale's defense, right? So that's somebody to think about. Certainly somebody to think about. Okay. Now we got the next one. Okay, but I'd have a hard time seeing, as long as they stay relatively healthy, I'd have a hard time seeing the Ravens falling out of playoff competition. Now, this team here I could see falling out of playoff competition would be the Carolina Panthers. Okay. In this article, okay, they got cornerback C.J. Henderson. Okay. One of the areas the Giants focused on in the NFL draft was the secondary. Given the amount of solid wide receivers, the Giants defense will be tasked. Yes. They'll try to stop. It makes sense for them to go get as much secondary help as possible in 2023. Giants took Deonte Banks in the first round and added another cornerback in the later rounds with Trey Hawkins. But the Giants were ever looking to bolster the secondary and potentially buy on a player who could be on their way out. C.J. Henderson might be an option, especially if you consider that may not be bringing Adoree Jackson back. Okay. Henderson was initially he was on two teams. He was initially a Jacksonville first-round pick, but he was moved to Carolina a couple of seasons ago and acquired by a regime that is no longer there in Carolina. The Panthers, who traded up to acquire the first pick, go through any struggles in 2023. Henderson could be a possible target if the Giants need additional help at cornerback. In 17 games for the Panthers in 2022, Henderson had 58 tackles, 2 interceptions, 6 passes defense. Given how depleted the Giants' secondary was at times when Adoree Jackson was hurt, right, additional secondary help can always be beneficial, even if the additional player in the draft was Banks and Hawkins. Okay, so something to think about, right? A cornerback, right? Then they have I don't see this team falling out of playoff competition anytime. Would be Seattle Seahawks. Okay, but they talking about Jordan Brooks. Okay. Seahawks declining Jordan Brooks' fifth-year option was a bit surprising, especially coming off the season he had in 2022. 16 games, Brooks had 161 tackles, okay, for Seattle with a sack. Yet Seattle somehow declined the option that would have paid him $12 million. Okay, for a tackling machine in Brooks, who was coming off that kind of season with the Seahawks, plus a year in 2021, he had 184 tackles. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? Oh, my God. And it's a complete shock to see the Seattle decided to decline their former first-round picks option, especially when he's only 25 years old, just entering the prime of his career. I mean, my goodness. Let me see. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Okay. The past 2 seasons, he's played in every he missed 1 game last season. Okay. He had 184 tackles in 17 games. I mean, he basically averaged 11 tackles a game in 2021. 2020, his rookie season, he played in 14 games, started in 6. So he missed 2 games. So basically in his whole career, he's missed 3 games. Okay, so injuries are not a concern. The dude's a tackling machine, right? He's got he has just a couple sacks, right? Nothing, but he's a tackling machine. All right. So, I mean, you can imagine if you got a K and this guy, right, lined up next to you. I mean, you got some tacklers there, right? Then, of course, then the other one, which team I could see falling out of playoff competition would be Isaiah Simmons, the guy from the Cardinals, right? As I said, a lot of people had him mocked to the Giants, right? Heading into the 2022 draft, the Giants – a lot of people like the Giants would take Simmons after they took Andrew Thomas. Simmons dropped a few spots and they took by the Cardinals, right? Simmons has been a decent player for the Cardinals, but there are some who think Simmons could benefit from a change of scenery. Carl Banks is one of them. Carl Banks says Isaiah Simmons, who I loved out of college, is a real enigma. So talented, yet so limited. Good in space, in pass defense, in the box, looks very uncomfortable versus the run. He's not effective for his physical traits. As a blitzer, he's better off the edge, but he's not special. He needs coaching bad. That's what Carl Banks says. And if Carl Banks talks, you should listen. Okay, so, that may not be bad. What better coach to unlock and unleash Simmons' potential as a defensive player than Martindale, who brought out several Giants players' attributes on defense and made them better in 2022. No better example of that is Dexter Lawrence, while we also have the godfather there, Andre Patterson, the defensive line coach. I'm sure he helped too, okay? Whose game transferred to a pretty good player into one of the best interior defensive linemen in football. They also put him over the nose guard too, which wound up being huge, right? He was just awarded with his big contract. There's no guarantee that Simmons will make the career jump that Lawrence did, but if he's available and it doesn't cost much, right? See, because I mean, him, you'd have to pay him, not an exorbitant amount, right? But I mean, if you trade him, you maybe get a fourth round pick for him or something like that, bring him in, may not be bad, especially because let's see, where's Simmons at here? I don't know. Where's he at? Let me put snaps by position here. Here we go. Pro Football Focus here. Snaps by position. Last season, he played on a defensive line. He played in the box. He was the slot corner. He was the wide corner, and he was free safety. Okay. I mean, you can put this freaking dude anywhere, right? His grades aren't super spectacular, according to PFF. All right. Last season, he was a 67.9. Okay. His run defense is not the greatest. 2021, his run defense was a 40. I mean, not good at all. I mean, his tackling's good. Pass rush isn't bad. His coverage isn't. He's not bad in coverage, right? So I mean, that's something that we could use. I mean, as I said, once again, if it would fall out of out of playoff competition or something like that, they're not going to pick up his option if he's not going to be there, right? You give him a call. Hey, Cardinals, you're I don't know, whatever, 3-8, right? You want a 4th rounder for Simmons, right? We will, might be worth a try. I mean, if the Giants are, playing pretty good, got a winning record, right? Let's add somebody who has Simmons caliber there, bring him in. Why not, right? My guy, okay, that I want to bring up is, which also helps. What's up, Terrence? Queen or Simmons would be nice, but my guy I want to talk about is good and bad. I mean, which was in this article is Chase Young. All right, his first season, looking defensive rookie of the year, and I think he. Let me check it out. Let me see what do we got here. Did he play in every game? Okay, he missed one game his rookie season. Okay, but defensive rookie of the year, Pro Bowler, this, that, and the other thing. 7.5 sacks. Right? What do you have? 12 quarterback hits, 10 tackles for loss. He had 3 fumble recoveries, 4 forced fumbles, 4 pass defense. I mean, he looked like the real deal. He still is the real deal. However, past 2 seasons, he's played in 12 games. So the past 2 seasons, we've had 17 and 17. My math's correct. That's 34. He played 12. So he's missed 22 out of the 34 games. So basically, he's missed like 67% of the games. Last season, obviously, he played in 3 games. 2 years ago, he played 9 games. All right, so he's missed a lot of time. The injury bug is with him. And is that something the Giants want to bring in, right? Now, the thing is, they're saying with him, would cost you a little bit of money is because he was drafted number 2. Now, obviously, the higher you're drafted, I don't know. I don't know what his salary is. I can't remember. But I mean, if you're picked number 1, your salary is whatever, $7 million a year. I forgot exactly what the numbers are. But if you pick number 2, you're getting $6.5 million a year or whatever. So I'm saying, so if for some reason, if the Commanders started falling out of the playoff contention, okay, with whatever, I don't know, 7 games and whatever you can make the trades and all that, right? I mean, you'd have to pay basically like half the season, or the last 7-8 games of the season, right? Of his salary, but that's why you would want to have a little bit of money stashed aside, because he would be a little more expensive because he was picked number 2. So you would have to come up with $3 or $4 million maybe to pay his salary for the rest of the season. Give the Commanders a call. I don't know if the Commanders would want to trade Chase Young to somebody in the division, right? If they were, I could see maybe the Giants. I don't see that. I'd have a hard time seeing them try to trade it to I don't know, they would want to trade him to the Eagles or the Cowboys. But I mean, I don't even know if they'd even want to trade him to the Giants. We got Kayvon, we got Chase Young, we got Azeez Ojulari, right? I mean, we got some guys coming off the edge. As I said, once again, the problem with Chase Young would wind up being the injury bug. I mean, it's a shame. It really, really is a shame, man, because you got somebody who's got a lot of talent. Is he the greatest pass rusher of all time now? But I mean, is he a good, just a nice young stud? Absolutely. And it's somebody you want to see play. I mean, you want to turn the TV on, I mean, especially, I'm watching the football game, especially they're not playing the Giants, hey, is that Chase? Yeah, he is. Okay, you're watching him. Let's see him come off the edge, see what he does and all. It's just a shame when you see a guy with that much talent and all and everything, and just the injuries just eat away at him, So this is 4th season. So I mean, same thing with all these other guys now. Hey, you never say never. I mean, the Giants one of these teams, they start falling out of playoff competition, right? Call them up and you offer maybe a third or fourth round pick for one of these guys. It only costs you a few $1 million to pay their remaining salary for the rest of the season. Okay, maybe you can offer them a contract and work a deal. But you notice also in his article, they were all defensive players too. But hey, you never say never. I mean, the Giants could use, hopefully we stay healthy. Okay, but as I said, never say never. It's always nice to bring this stuff up. But Thursday night, we got the schedule coming out. So I said, I keep hearing all these things, but it's gonna be a tough season. It's gonna be a great season as it is always, but it's gonna be a tough season. Got a tough schedule coming out. All right, guys. Well, Terrence, good talking to you. It's been 40 minutes, almost 41 minutes. Anybody spent any time watching me at all? Thank you. Or if anybody spends any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I can use all the support I can get, guys. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!